In a world where first impressions can open doors or close them, mastering your appearance is more than just a matter of style, it's a strategic advantage. Whether you're navigating the dating scene or climbing the corporate ladder, how you present yourself can significantly impact your success and your self-confidence. In this episode of the Fallible Man podcast, image consultant Celeste Moore joins us to reveal the secrets behind crafting a compelling personal brand and enhancing your image. Discover how the right look can boost your professional prospects, transform your personal interactions, and elevate your overall presence. Tune in to learn how to project confidence and credibility that sets you apart in every aspect of your life. Let's get into it. Here's the million-dollar question. How do men like us reach our full potential, growing to the men we dream of becoming while taking care of our responsibilities, working, living, being good husbands, fathers, and still take care of ourselves? Well, that's the big question, and in this podcast, we'll help you with those answers and more. My name is Brent, and welcome to the Fallible Man podcast. Welcome to the Fallible Man podcast, your home for all things man, husband, and father. Big shout out to Fallible Nation. That's our long-term listeners, and hey, you're welcome to be part of that family. And a big welcome to our first-time listeners. Hey, thanks for checking us out. There's so much out there fighting for your attention. It means a lot. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving us a chance today. Be sure to connect with me at the Fallible Man on most social medias. My preferred is Instagram. And let me know what you thought of the show. And if you really enjoy it, be sure to share it with a friend. That really helps us get more visibility and helps us reach more people's lives. My name is Brent, and today my special guest is personal image and dating consultant for men, Celeste Moore. Celeste, welcome to the Fallible Man podcast.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you so much for having me on today's show. I'm super excited.
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah. Good.
Now, Celeste, how is your trivia skills?
Ooh. That depends on what and what subject. So
that's fair. That's fair, right? That's honest. We'll try and keep it fairly simple.
Okay.
What is the largest internal organ in the human body? Is it
Skin.
The lungs, heart, kidneys, or liver?
Oh, okay. That wasn't even an option. Lung, heart, kidney, the lungs, right? No.
Okay. Well, guys, you know the rules. Don't cheat. We'll come back to that, and you'll find out. Make your guess. Don't write it down if you're driving. For God's sake, don't do that. Just remember, we'll come back to that a little bit later in the show. Celeste, I don't do big intros because no one cares about accolades, right? Everybody's got accolades of some kinds these days. The more important question is today, in this moment, who is Celeste Moore?
Celeste is, or I am, excited and passionate about really defining the new Celeste in this age. 47, not that young anymore, hitting that midlife mark, but I'm reinventing and recreating myself, reigniting my passions. One of those passions is just plain and simple fashion. I love to make people feel good, to look good. I am going through this metamorphosis myself, and get to redefining yourself at 47 is actually really amazing and fun. People always talk about how midlife is just scary. Well, I've had the opposite. I love to travel. Maybe that's not who the essence of Celeste is, but I'm adventurous. I love to learn, and I love being a mom. So, yeah.
I love it. That you got a clarity that a lot of people don't have. So I love that. 47 is not old. I'm 44. 47 is not old.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. It's a mindset too, right?
At this point, right?
Yeah. I'm just getting started, I feel.
Exactly. You're just really a real person. You've got enough life experience to kind of shape and decide. It's like, you know what? In the first act, yeah, we had some fun, but who do I really want to be now?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good place to be. I like it.
Yeah.
Celeste, what is an insult you've received that you're proud of, where someone thought they were just being a total jerk and you're like, yeah, I kind of like that. I'm good with that.
I think that I was too high maintenance. And I'm okay with that. And I think what they were saying is I was too particular with the way I choose to live my life. And I'm okay with that because I've gotten to the point where I get to decide what I like, what I won't. My boundaries are a lot more clear. So they were being, kind of asses, if I can say something like that. But, calling me high maintenance. I was like, okay, sure. I
It's,
love
ama-
it.
it's amazing how high maintenance people think some other ones are when you actually set boundaries, right?
Mhm.
When you stop just letting people push you around and you start setting healthy boundaries, people tend to get, man, when did you become no fun, or when did you become such a jerk or so
Yes,
demanding?
exactly. I
Now,
took it. I was like, okay,
right?
we're just not jiving anymore. It's all good.
Just don't got time for your kind of crap in my life right now.
100%.
What is your biggest personal pet peeve?
Oh, I know this sounds bad, guys, maybe, but it's ignorance, tunnel vision, one-minded, not being open-minded. That just drives me absolutely insane because there's no right way to be for anyone. I mean, I feel like if you're closed off as an individual and this is the way and this is the only way, that really gets under my skin. I really I don't know why, but it just open up your eyes to, there's so many more possibilities. There's so many ways to be. There's so many, I'm not saying there is a right way, but just think of other people and it's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have different viewpoints. I think that's what makes us so beautiful and diverse as humans. So, yeah.
I love it. I'm all about like constructive opposing views,
Same.
conversations. I think we are losing the art of respectfully disagreeing with people, right?
Yes.
We used to be able to have conversations and be like, oh, well, I don't agree with you on that, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Now people are like, oh, you're wrong. What?
Yeah,
I don't agree with you. When did you become God?
exactly.
Celeste, what sport would be a whole lot better and a lot funnier if we mandated a certain amount of alcohol before the players played?
Mm. Well, hockey's already fun, so I'm trying to think of, maybe ice skating?
Ice skating?
That's probably gonna be really dangerous, but I think it's all gonna be dangerous. Or maybe ping pong, that's probably less dangerous.
You a hockey fan?
I enjoy hockey. I'm
Yeah.
not a huge. I think I like football the most, to be honest, but I watched the Golden Knights and Dallas play yesterday, so, here and there.
We have a local like farm team in the next. I live in the middle of nowhere, but in the next like major town over, about 30 miles over, we have. They've been through like I think 4 leagues now. They're like a farm team basically. But it's like watching local football. It's more fun to me than professional football. I'd rather go watch the high school game
I love that.
where I know some of the kids and some of the parents, and right, you kind of take that ownership. These guys, there isn't college hockey available or high school hockey available for everybody, so they're like 16 to 21, and
Yeah.
most of them are playing for either Division 1 opportunities or to get picked up by the pros.
Wow.
And so they're still young. There's a like they have to, if they're still in school, they still have to like tutor through school while they're playing.
Wow. That's
But
cool.
it's very cool because you get this very like it's our town as our hockey team kind of thing.
It's like, I live in Austin and football is like religion here, so
Oh yeah, I'm so my family's a Fort Worth family. We're all from Texas.
Okay, you know.
So I know, yeah, guys. If you live in the South, Texas is a national pastime. If you live in Texas, Texas is football is religion. Which I probably shouldn't say that about a generally really highly religious area of the country, but football is a form of religion.
Mhm.
The movies don't blow that out of proportion.
Definitely not.
What purchase of $100 or less did you make in the last year that's had the biggest impact on your life?
Probably a few books. Jamie Lee Kern's book that just came out. It's called Worth. Probably Be Seen by Jen Gottlieb. And gosh, Dr. Rewire, Alec Trebetti. So to rewire your brain.
Okay. You know, I get books a lot, but as someone who reads a lot of books, I totally get that answer.
A lot. Oh, you get that answer a lot?
Well, I totally understand that answer. I go through so many books during the year between reading books for my show, because I read any books that my authors send me before I'll talk about them. And then reading the books I want to read. It's like I go through a lot of books, so it's amazing. You get the right book that connects at the right moment. And it's like, man, where was this my whole life?
I feel like it comes at the right time when you really need it.
Hidden talent. What is your hidden talent?
Well, I don't know if this is a hidden talent, but I don't miss anything. I'm very, very detailed. And it could be with anything, not just fashion or something's out of place. This could be good or bad. But I notice everything. So some people take that as when they get around me that I'm going to say something, and I'm not judging. I just notice. And so if someone doesn't want me to notice something, then they won't come around. So, but I find it as an advantage because I think it's the little things that you need to pay attention to in all aspects of your life so that you don't miss the bigger picture.
Detail that picking up the little things it is a talent. So many people go through life and miss so much, especially with cell phones these days. Like everybody's got their face down in a cell phone. They miss so much of the world.
Yeah, I think it's a practice to truly be present. Now I'm still working on that. Like that is not something that I have been great at for a long time, but more and more I'm really focusing on being in the moment and nowhere else. So that takes a lot of practice.
Hey, you're on the right show. We're work in progress here. So
Exactly.
100%. I'm working on that every single day. I've got my mom lives with us. I've been married we just celebrated our 23rd anniversary, and I've got 2 little girls and a business, and trying to be present from moment to moment is like constant effort.
Agreed.
What is the worst song ever?
Do you remember that song I'm Blue? It's
Yes.
like, I don't know who sings it or what it is, but it became this like instant one hit wonder for like a minute. And it's like, I don't understand it, or actually Who Let the Dogs Out was actually a fun song. So, but that Blue song, I don't know. That was just, I can't think of anything that's other than that. So,
Hey, I told you there's no wrong answer in this portion of the show.
yeah.
She's good.
Yes.
What is something everybody should know about you before we dig into today's episode?
I've been through I would say about 6 different lives since I've been born, transformations, if you will. So many pivots, so many struggles, so many things that have brought me to the place I am today. And, you look back and sometimes you regret things in your life. I don't regret anything. I've had some really big hardships and I wouldn't change my trajectory. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess my resilience. I have unreal, like it's unreal the fact that I'm still where I'm at right now from everything that I went through. So, yeah.
All right. Now, guys, we're going to get to know Celeste just a little bit. In this part of the show, we're going to dive into your personal brand. Now, if you've been around social media like most of us have, you've probably heard somebody talking about personal branding. It's not just if you're a CEO. It's not just if you're a social media influencer. That's air quotes for all of us listening. It's about more than that, but I'm going to let Celeste explain this to you because this is not my thing. Celeste, before we dive into that, I gotta appreciate this for all of our listeners, because I'm a big movie nerd. You have described yourself as the female version of Hitch, but better. So tell us a little bit about what you do as a brand and dating consultant for men.
Yes. Well, I love Hitch so much, and it just is so relatable to my field that yes, this was so fun for me. I thought about this back in, it's been at least 15 years. So I was certified as a matchmaker, the very first thing out of college, and I won't bore you with all the things, but that was kind of the intro to where I'm at today. And then I kind of put that on the back burner because I was quite young and I didn't really have what they called back then a Rolodex of people. And then I became certified as an image consultant, and image consultants take a holistic approach to personal and professional branding, where we dive into color analysis based on your DNA and based on your lifestyle and personality. And so it's a little bit of science and art. And we talk about etiquette and, dating, dining. Um, and I put all of this together. And then when everybody met me and they talked about the matchmaking side, the image consultant were like, you need to blend the two. You need to focus on the dating side niche niche that out and really focus on dressing men or women and getting them ready for dates, and really start focusing on that. And then a couple years back, I decided to not matchmake, but I became a date coach. And I really enjoy working with men because, from a woman's point of view, and I'm just talking pretty heteronorm here, what women want, I'm teaching men to have a woman's perspective. And a lot of my clients, the reason why I say female version of Hitch but better is because a lot of my clients don't want to get on social media and have before and afters, or they don't want people to know that they hired me to get better at dating, or how to flirt, or how to be desirable, or how to dress, or what to say. And I give them the tools and the strategies so that they're successful. And that was a long-winded answer there, but yes. So this is kind of all encompass of how I created my, I guess, avatar, if you will.
You know what? I appreciate the long-winded answer, because I really wanted a full explanation on that. I'm like, how have you blended these worlds? Getting ready before the show, of course, researching, and I'm like, and I've been married for 23 years, so I love having people who actually can talk to my audience about dating, because it's outside my wheelhouse at this point. After 23 years of marriage, right? I don't give dating advice on my episodes because I'm not the person to ask at this point. I would have no idea how to date somebody in 2024. I try and date my wife still, which doesn't always work with 2 kids and everything else we've got going on, but I try. But I'm not a good, so I love having like a dating consultant on the show who can actually tell my audience, because I've got men who, they're in that world, and it's like, I don't know how to help you. So, you're doing us a huge favor by being here today. And I love this idea of blending your image, because that's not something that as men we're taught about, right? There's 2 class of men generally. There's the guys who are just like, you know what, I'm wearing what I'm wearing. And then there's the guys you see on social media who are like dressed in nines and take it to a far extreme. And you're like, all of us who are on the other side of that are just like, you are weird, kind of lame, right? There's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere. And my daughters will tell you, fashion's not my thing. So you are like double dipping, helping us here today, because these are 2 areas where I told you I put on one of my nicer shirts for the show today. If you guys catch me on video, I'm actually wearing a polo shirt. I'm a jeans and a t-shirt kind of guy.
Yeah.
Jeans with a polo shirt or a button-up shirt is like church.
Fancy for you.
Right?
I appreciate that.
I don't wear jeans with holes in them. I was taught better than that. But other than that, that's about as high class as I get. I have a suit I dust off for weddings and funerals and really big job interviews, but that's about it. So
Yes.
you are talking to me, and you're talking to my class of guys here. Now we, talked about personal branding a little bit. It's not just for influencers. It's not just something that's on social media. So help me put this into context. What is a personal brand when it comes to a person in general for like everyday guys listening to the show?
Well, think about personal brand is how are you showing up? And that can be professional, personal. When I look at someone's life, when somebody comes to me and we focus on personal branding, I really talk about what areas of their life they are in. And so I do like a pie chart, right? So if you're 60% home, 40, I don't know, 20% at work, I'm just, 10% doing this hobby. So we kind of make this pie chart. And I realize based on your lifestyle, how can you show up as the best version of yourself? So I want people to understand that I do not change you. I'm not trying to make you into something that or who you are not. I am only elevating yourself. I am showing you and giving you tools with your God given DNA, your personality, the coloring of your skin, your eyes, your hair, all of these things. And I'm giving you the tools so that you can not only have the most amazing confidence because you know that everything that you are putting on your body, colors, style, the way you walk, the way you're speaking, that you're showing up as yourself. You're just showing up as your best self. And I think a lot of people don't even know what does that even mean? How do you even find out? This is where I come into play. So it's not just I think you said for personal, right? Let's say you're not dating or single. But let me tell you, I have couples who come to me, and usually it's the wife who hires me. Can you please make my husband sexy again? Can you please get him out of the clothes he's been wearing for 20 years and make him desirable for me?
Wow.
And so I have worked with married couples in the sense that I mean, I do have female clients, but it's only very selective. It's the mentality of usually a man where they're like, "Okay, I'm hiring you to get a job done and let me get from A to B." Boom. That's why I love working with men because I'm just direct, they're direct. Let's figure out the solution. Um, so on that note, yes, personal brand is how are you showing up? It's almost like your marketing tool and maybe you're not in the marketing world, but how do you land the job? How are you moving up in your career? Maybe I think all through midlife we go through different changes, body changes. We go through plateaus in careers. We maybe plateaus in a little bit of stalemate in the marriage, or maybe you're in a new relationship. All these areas of your life should be important because you should feel worthy enough to show up. You should feel great, like grooming, please, like all the things. Like if you're going to a networking event, I really focus on the way you smell, your body odors. If you're a cigarette smoker, if you're, there's so many things that send messages before you even open your mouth. And let me just say one quick thing. Color is the first thing that you notice on someone. First thing, not black or white, color. And each color sends a message. So before you are even talking to the person, something happens within our brain within seconds. And the color of the item is the first thing that you're going to notice. It's the last thing that you're going to notice, and it's going to send a message. So it's really powerful.
So you mean there's colors other than black and white for clothes?
There is.
I it was funny because I took stock the other day, and I think I have two shirts that I wear on any regular basis that aren't either black, white, or gray.
Okay.
I think 90% of my clothes are black.
It's so easy to buy black.
Right? It goes with everything. It doesn't show stains as easily. So if I like pour something on myself while I'm out,
Yeah.
very conscious about that. I'm a little bit klutzy when it comes to, spilling food.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I like my daughters tease me because I think I have jeans and I have black shirts, and I think I have 2 t-shirts and 1 sweatshirt that isn't black, white, or gray, and most of it's black and gray. I stopped wearing white shirts because they stain too easy.
Yeah. Well, white's always like, I think if you just wear white, you're attracting something to fall on you regardless.
Right? It's like a magnet.
Happens to me. So
If I wear a white shirt, I'm having chili dogs or something that day. I'm guaranteeing it, and I'm wearing chili.
it's stained after that.
Right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm sure there is some psychology because I know women see a broader color spectrum than men do. Like just physiologically, your eyes actually detect more shades than man's does of color, which is why we argue, when women are like, oh, that's this color. It's like, no, it's blue. Oh no, it's this color. It's blue. Right? We it's blue.
Yeah, that's it.
we know there's a variance. It's a lighter blue, but it's still blue. Right.
Right.
So I don't know if that has to do with why a lot of guys tend to lean into just a certain set, but
Mhm.
like I know my
Yeah.
wife says there are better colors on me that
Mhm.
when I wear them, she's like, that color's good on you. I'm like, I don't understand.
Your eyes are blue
My
or
eyes
green?
are technically hazel, I think.
Hazel, like a blue
They're
green?
huh?
Are they a blue green? I can't really tell. So I'm
They're
just
green with a like one. I have one eye that's got brown in it as well. It's multicolored,
nice.
but they're
Yeah.
kind of a green with a hint of brown. And
Okay.
I,
So like
they used to call it hazel on my license. I think now they just say my eyes are green. I think they've stopped using the term
I
hazel.
know. Well, hazel exists and there's all different colors of hazel. I only asked because there's only a few there's only like really a few people in a certain category that look great in black. And the reason why is because when people wear it, that there's a couple things that happens. Like, yes, I understand all of those things, right? With it's comfortable, it's like doesn't show things, but it's also setting you back. So when you see someone wear black, it almost is like they kind of disappear. And sometimes unknowingly that we put black on because we don't want to be spoken to. We don't want to be like available to have those conversations. And if someone's in black, they kind of just let them be a little bit. And so that's one psychology behind it. But also if it's not the right undertone for your skin and your eyes, it can actually make you look older. It can bring out bags under your eyes, wrinkles. Like think of if it's not the right color for you, then those things happen. Where if you put on the right color, just think color bounces off of your face, right? It's hopefully doing um, a good thing. So it's either making you look younger, more vibrant, or it's doing the opposite. Sometimes colors can actually make you look sick. So just by color itself, and mostly I'm talking about anything that's above the waist. So anything that's below. I mean, wear black all day if you want, if that's like your thing, right? But if black is not your color, then those things can happen. It can drain color from your lips. I mean, it's bring out redness that you maybe are trying to hide. So there's all different reasons. And when you meet someone, you want to have you don't want to be distracted by the things that are taking you away from what you're saying to the person. So also you have to be mindful of who your audience is and the message that you want to send to the audience. So it's really powerful. I mean, I could talk about it all day, but we don't have to bore everybody here. All I know is that I understand the comfort, and it's so easy, mass produced, black and white. It's easy for any kind of person. Like,
Mhm.
how do I black and white's easy.
Now, see, this is a highly interesting conversation to me because, right, for a lot of us guys, we're just like, and I remember one thing that always stands out in the back of my mind from advertising is black is slimming,
Hmm.
right? So for any of us guys who are a little self-conscious about our midsection, we're like, black is slimming, right? That's like the one ad thing I ever heard about black that stuck in my head.
Hmm.
Black is more slimming. But I think for guys, a lot of time it's like, oh, this is easy, right? This is low maintenance. It goes with everything I wear. It goes, how do you like really get guys to start to go, maybe I should wear some color,
Hmm.
right? How do we make that transformation? Because for my mind, that's a big hoop. I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is
So
comfortable. This is what I wear.
yeah. So darker colors are slimming. So that doesn't mean only black. So just think of navy, think of like burgundy. There's all sorts of darker colors that are slimming and also monochromatic. So if you're wearing, let's just say navy from top to bottom, any kind of monochromatic look, and that just means the same color family on the top and bottom, just so people who not quite understanding. It's also, it appears that you're taller and slimmer. So that's one way that you can, if you really like, if you're like, I'm getting away from black, how can I make this work? I think when I talk about and I show people, because I do virtual color draping now, which is a huge, huge um, asset. I think before it's only been done in person, where you actually have all these colors and you go through them, and it's now it's available. The same patented system. It's the only accredited and patent system in the world, the one that I'm qualified to, I'm certified in. And I think it's huge showing somebody like, here, this is why, and showing you the colors. And it's not just warm and cool. It gets into, it's very in depth, but I give you at the end, I won't bore people, but at the end, I give you the 60 colors of how to use them in your wardrobe. So there's some that are should be your core wardrobe. There's some that should be like, oh, they're like pizzazz colors, like wear a tee under a sport coat and like whatever your style is too. And then I find out your style, which is really important because what I talk about, I think I told you is like I don't take away your authentic self. You already have a style that works for you. For you, it might be natural and it might be classic. Who knows? You have a primary and a secondary that you live in naturally, and you're drawn to certain styles based on what you like. So I give you this test, and it has nothing to do with style. And at the end, it tells you you're dominant and you're secondary, and you can live in those simultaneously. You can wear this style versus this style, or you can predominantly wear your dominant house. And I know that's a little confusing, but everything that I show you is your personality, your DNA, your I like your God given, you know, body and personality.
So let me ask you this because you just said 60 colors, and I thought there are 60 colors. Huh.
For you.
Which is funny because I work in graphic design. So, like, as we're having this conversation in this studio setup, virtual studio setup, you can see I have a color palette that I use. I can actually like tell you the hexadecimal codes of the 9 colors I predominantly use in my color palette across all my platforms. The red is not a standard red. Like but I'm down to like dialing in the shade, right? So I know as a graphic designer that, but when it comes to applying them to me, my brain just goes, but there's black. So, and I don't think I'm single minded on this. I think a lot of guys are there with me on that. So, let me ask you, this sounds like a whole lot of work to even figure out as a man. I'm just like, but jeans and black work, right? I keep falling back to that.
Hmm.
Why is our image so important? And then you use the term, I don't know where I even picked it up from. I thought I saw it somewhere, from the boardroom to the bedroom.
Yes.
Why is our image so important?
Well, color is energy. Just remember that. Whatever color is on your body has a certain energy. But think about this for a minute, especially as we go through different seasons in our life. We all do. We all go through different moments, and it's okay to also change, how you're feeling in a certain style of clothing, a certain time in your life. But this is what I was doing a client's closet this last weekend. 3 days. I have a massive closet. Hadn't cleaned out this closet in 20 years. But I can't do a closet till I know the person's colors and their style so that I can pull stuff out that doesn't work, things that work, create a wardrobe that works. Think of this as a strategy. Like, okay, now this closet has work, has my date clothes, it has, whatever. It's set up in a system. It's so important for you all the time to feel your best. And I think we get so comfortable at like, I'm just home, I'm just schlepping, in the garden, or I'm just running around. These are the conversations I have with my clients. They're talking to me about, oh, that's just, whatever. And I'm like, well, how come you're not wearing the nice things that you've purchased? Oh, well, there's no special occasion. And I'm like, every moment that you're alive is a special occasion. Why wouldn't you wear the things that make you feel good? Why wouldn't you stand up straight when you can? Why I don't understand the people that spend money on themselves in other areas of their life. Like, let's just say self-growth, for an example. I'm going to spend money on this convention. I'm going to go see speakers. Or spend money on a podcast thing. And why wouldn't you spend money and take care of yourself first? Now, that can mean it's not just about clothes, it's about grooming yourself, it's about self-love and self-care. And that can mean, working out or eating better, or being mindful. There's so many different areas and holistic areas of ourselves. And I think that it's so important to remind ourselves how much we matter and how much, when you put your best foot forward, you're more trusted, you're viewed as the person that you would want to, say, do business with, or someone that you trust, because, well, if they take care of themselves, they're going to take care of me. And it's this energy, and it's like you're showing up and you're sending messages. So why wouldn't you send the message that's authentically you and be the best person that you could possibly be? And I'm not saying you have to wear a suit every day. That might not be for you. But if it's a polo shirt for you in the right color, something that fits you well, and it's jeans, okay, that's what works for you on your day to day. But what if you showed up in even a little dressier and you plan a date for your wife and everything's set up, even though you have a lot going on, as we all do, and it's like once a month, and you just surprised her? She would be aghast. Her mouth would be just dropping to the floor, but she would also feel like, wow, you say the shock value when some things that you ask people on the podcast, that's a shock value. That would stop her mid sentence, right? Everything planned. You showed up like looking great, feeling great. Did you have a nice time? You would feel really good. And so I think that people don't take enough thought into how they're showing up. And this is where I come in, because I really truly want to show the best version of yourself in all professional and personal. So I like to say the boardroom to the bedroom, because everything in between and all of those matter.
I was really clicking in on what you said about your appearance conveys something to clients and the people you're interacting with. I've never once thought about the way I dress was telling my client, hey, I'm going to take care of you, or and I think of, so I used to be a personal trainer, and I think of the nuance of, it's like, you're being judged by whether you look healthy or not, right? When you show up for the job interview, when you meet somebody, people can lie and say that they're not, they're full of crap. One of the first impressions people take in is your brain doesn't even have to like actively try. Your brain, your eyes feed in immediately at someone's appearance and judges whether they are healthy and look healthy, right? There's a natural bio instinct where our brain goes, oh, broader shoulders, narrower waist for a guy, right? We're looking for that V cut. We're looking for healthy skin. Does their skin look dried out? Does it look oily, right? There are these biomarkers that your brain automatically takes in. And guys, pay attention because women see this automatically, right? And so I know we're judged based on our health and how that conveys, but I never once thought about the way that's wrapped having an impact.
Yeah. If you could take this image or this example, for instance, there's two guys that come into a room. One guy's wearing t-shirt and board shorts. Other guy has a suit, no tie, just, he has a suit, button-down shirt. They both have the same education, both have the same work experience. Who are you going to trust more with, let's say, a deal or even just anything that they say out of their mouth? Just solely based on those two things. You know that they have the same background. It is going to be the guy in the suit. And the reason why is because he has authority. It's the moment you put on a jacket, just a jacket, not even a whole suit. It says, take me seriously. I am professional. I am whatever I am saying is you're going to believe. And it's crazy. I had this conversation on the plane about this to a gentleman who is like 20 years into the field he's in. He's got his clients. And so he shows up to his Zoom meetings now in a t-shirt and board shorts. So this is why I use this reference. And he says, like, these are my clients. I don't care anymore. Like, I moved to Florida now instead of New York. And, this is my vibe. And I don't have to show up for them. And I was like, okay. I was like, so by the end of the plane ride, he was like taking my card, but I listened to him. I want to hear what he has to say, but you know what? For him, it's like his seasons changed. He moved to a different climate. He felt that he was comfortable and that he didn't have to show up in a way that was serious anymore. And I said, well, maybe it's not the suit anymore. The whole New York vibe, that's not who you are anymore. But you're also not the board short t-shirt guy on a meeting. That's not who you want to show up as. Still the guy, even though that's your client for a long time, can still make judgments and maybe sees you lacking a little bit. Maybe they're not taking you as serious. They understand you've gone through this, but you're not taking yourself seriously. So how are they going to take you seriously? And so he started to think about it. He's like, he just didn't know how to make the transition. At the end of the day, he wasn't the suit guy anymore. So he said, well, I guess I'm the short and t-shirt guy, but he wasn't that guy either. So, but he didn't know even there was a resource to blend the two, to bring his new self into his new lifestyle. So it's interesting because when you start to look at those things, I mean, especially guys are like, whatever, I don't know. I'm just going to put some clothes on.
When I saw you were an image consultant, my brain automatically was like, oh, so that's like for an actor or for like a big level CEO, right? My brain's thinking, oh, that's for Elon Musk and guys like that who have a whole staff that makes sure that he looks a certain way and hands him his clothes every morning. You don't think about that I don't think, at least I had something. Let me clear that up. At least at me, I don't think about that at a me level of life, right? I don't think about that as an everyday, guy, middle income kind of guy, right? I think about that at this level of people. I didn't even know that was a thing, that there was someone to talk to about this kind of thing. Let me ask you, from a woman's perspective, how big of an impact does this have for guys meeting women and trying to actually like get into that dating scene and meet women? How big of an impact is the way we present ourselves?
Well, I'm not going to lie and say it's not that important because every woman who is single, who is very available and beautiful and amazing. And she's just like, why can't I find the guys? Some of them, and I understand we see more than you do. And I think if you know how important your first impressions are, because those make a lasting impression. And that is the most, everybody says first impressions are the most important. It's actually your lasting impression. So that date, when you leave at the end of the date, right? Because you showed up in whatever outfit, however you were groomed, however you smelled, however you, if you opened the door, if there was any kind of, negative energy. So it's so much more than obviously how you're dressing, right? And what colors and craziness. But women pay attention to the nails. Are they clean? Please, 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 like groom yourself. Like, guys, I don't care what you do for a living, if you're a mechanic or whatever, but have clean nails and soft hands when you come home. No woman wants hands like that on her body at any point. So we think about these things. And if, like I said before, if you show up and you are not taking care of yourself and you're not like putting that energy into yourself first, how are you going to pass that on to her? How are you going to give her like, well, I can't trust him to take care of me or have a family. Like he can't even take care of himself as a single man. That just sends so many messages to women like, okay, no, that's not based on that. And I know that sounds so pretentious, maybe, or it's just what happens in our mind. It happens so fast. And also, we really care about how you treat us and are you listening to us? And it's so much more, right? But you get one chance, it's an Eminem song, you get one shot. Like, just remember that. And if you are showing up as you're authentic, please be yourself. Do not lie. Do not fabricate more than you have, because that will also be found out. And then it just comes off as, you know, deceptive. And when you're truly yourself, personality, you're showing up as your best self, you will be in alignment with who you are, who you ultimately want to find, or the job. Like, think about everything in your life. The more you are dialed in as the best self, that's when you're going to truly be in alignment with anything you want in your life. And it'll happen. You just have to own that shit. Excuse me. Stuff.
You're
I
fine.
don't know if you can curse. Stuff.
This is a men's podcast. You're okay.
Okay.
You show me a guy who said he doesn't swear. I'll show you a liar.
I have a bad mouth and I have to watch it sometimes. So
I have no filters on my guests. You're good. Don't worry about
okay.
it. Guys, we've been spending some time talking to Celeste about personal brand as a man and how, like, your image is more than just, you don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to be a CEO. Your image is important. And this is something a lot of us neglect as a man. In this part of the show, Celeste is going to help us with some general upgrade advice to take care of your image. Now, obviously, she can't work directly with us one-on-one and necessarily know your whole color palette like she can with her clients. She gets to do this at a much more in-depth level with her clients. You get very specific based on skin tones and eye color and things she's talked about so far in the show. But just some solid advice for all of us who need to kind of probably level up a little bit, because let's face it, we're just jeans and t-shirt guys. So Celeste, just starting out, and you can pick on me if you want to, or just in general, whatever's easiest for you. Where do most of us need to start at?
Well, you made such a great point. Definitely when I do start with my clients, it's color first, but we're going to skip all that right now. And we're going to go straight to, I'm going to give you some advice for things that you can handle and take care of yourself. And I would say, let's start on the grooming side. Let's just make sure that whatever you do with your hair, just make sure, or beard, just make sure that it's, trim and it's not squirrely or whatever you want to talk about it. We don't have any hair coming out of our nose and our ears, and we're looking at least like we're presentable. Let's talk about anytime you're out and about. I have to say these things to guys, but like, have good breath. Keep your nails short and trim, and like, make sure the edges they're not, sharp. Um, wear deodorant, please. Take showers. Like, and I gotta say these things. Body odor sends a message too, guys. And just be aware. Also, cologne is an accessory. So if you're gonna wear cologne, just wear 1 to 2 spritz. That's enough. You don't need to douse in it. You don't need to bathe in it. And also, if you're going out on a date, it helps because women love to smell a good smelling man. Trust me.
Let me ask him this because I know less is more with cologne most of the time.
Yes.
Where do we apply it?
So I suggest one on the neck and one just on like a piece of the clothing because that'll dissipate a little bit more. Or you can put two on the neck or one on the wrist as well. Just so that on the neck, it's really great because that's where like the pheromones come out, and that's when you can really get your smell with the cologne. And it lasts there for a little bit, and it's not too overwhelming. It's actually just makes a woman want to kind of snuggle up and get inside the neck a little, and just even get a whiff of you. And it's that's a good telltale if she's interested in you as well.
Let me ask, because most deodorants are scented.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do we collaborate cologne and deodorant?
I guess you don't really have to wear cologne if you are heavily scented already, like after a shower, if you've got like a manly scent, from your soap or your deodorant. I wouldn't add another scent to that because it could clash. But if you do want to wear cologne, just try to get like an unscented deodorant. You can maybe get two different kinds. That's just a suggestion. Or just move to an unscented. I think it's kind of better. But if that's what you prefer, good smelling deodorant, then yeah, just don't wear the cologne.
I'm very like my nose is very sensitive to smells.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people are too.
I can't walk in like Bed Bath and Beyond. I get a headache instantly.
Oh, gives me a headache too.
Right. And I think about men are wearing used to like men pretty much ivory soap or dial, or you're an ivory guy, you're a dial guy. You have your stick of soap that you use, and it had that generic laundry sterile kind of smell. And so guys weren't wearing a lot of layers of scent, right? But Dr. Squatch has made all these scented soaps for men, and all these other men brands now have these scented soaps, and so guys are actually coming off with more layers of smell than we used to.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to go like down the line with like, I know Dr. Squatch has a soap that smells the same as their deodorant. If you're going to get their deodorant, right, so you can just like layer that same smell if that's your thing. But guys, please be aware of the layers of smell you're wearing.
Yeah. Keep it one scent.
Right? I think Dr. Squatch even goes as far as like they have clones now that match their. You can get your whole line from them. I'm not affiliated, but just
yeah, I know what you. Yeah, my brothers love the soap.
Right? I'm always impressed with it. Like they've got this whole line now of things.
Why wouldn't they mass market?
Right? We all went through this horrible Axe spray-on body spray deodorant phase.
I remember those commercials too.
Right? We all love the commercials, and we all bought that stupid advertising and went, "Oh my god, that will make a difference," and hose ourselves down with that. Bad.
Yeah, that was too much. So yeah, just be aware. Don't layer the scents. If you're going to pick one, and like if you're going to wear a non-scented deodorant, go ahead and buy a nice cologne once in a while, or alternate. So I would also suggest.
I drink a lot of coffee. Should I carry breath mints with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to be talking to someone, just do the reverse. Do you want someone that is talking to you and has bad breath or smells of smoke, or
I grew up with a bunch of old guys who drink coffee, so
it's distracting in certain situations. Make sure your clothes don't have holes, rips, tatters. It doesn't look old. If it is time to get rid of it, guys, just get rid of the stuff that is sending like the wrong message. And I know that we all have like favorite holy shirt. Well, I don't, but some guys do, that they just want to wear in the backyard once in a while. Okay, keep one. No holy underwear. Please, just like, feel good about yourself and know that you're worth more than that. So just keep that in mind. And when you meet someone, be very specific with eye contact. Shake hands properly. Get a nice handshake. I went to this podcast event last week, and I shook a woman's hand. Well, she was a young lady, I guess. She was in her 20s. And she's a huge influencer on Instagram and really big. She had the new, like, dead fish, noodle, whatever you want to, like, she didn't know how to shake a hand. And instantly I was like, oh my God. And I don't know if it's the new generation, and I'm sure everybody here knows how to shake a proper hand, but just be aware of how you're showing up, your body language, eye contact, smile, be really aware of those things. And that's just some things, yeah, that's how, go through your closet. And if you haven't worn something, I say every 6 months, but if you haven't worn something in years and you're like, I'm going to get to this, I'm going to get back down to my size, whatever, I know women do it and they keep their fat jeans and their skinny jeans, and, they have like 3 different sizes in their wardrobe. No, if it's not working for your body right now, it needs to go. Someone else can use it. If it's just sitting in your closet, you can sell it, donate it, whatever you need to do, but make room and space for the new you, or the person that you are right now. I think it's really important, because I think it's psychological too, like to have a pair of pants that was great for you when you were 20, and you have that mindset like, ooh, I got the girls when I was 20. I looked so good when I was 20. I, had my shit together, whatever it is. Like, come back to this, find the new you, really understand who you are now. This is an exciting time for you in your life to kind of reinvent yourself. I think that's so fun. And you can do that as much as you want, but I feel that, where you're at in life, you can show up as like this new version of yourself.
The handshake thing is a dying art. There are less like that. People are not, even young men are not being taught to shake hands. There's been a decline in the last 20 years. It's ridiculous. So that's not a huge surprise that
Mm-hmm.
I had an influencer who was not.
I couldn't even, it was like a cold, dead, wet. It wasn't even like it wasn't even like hand to hand, like, oh, anyways. Okay.
Now, guys, this may be hard to hear because like I'm struggling on this end of the conversation. Okay. I literally still have, and let me know, like hit me up on Instagram if you still have, like, if you're 30 or older and you still have clothes from high school, let me know, because I'm 44. I do. I still can wear the same pants I wore in high school.
Wow.
Very proud of that fact. Very proud of that fact. But I can still wear the same pants because I got all of my size by the time I was in 7th grade, 8th grade. I was a full 6 foot. And so I haven't changed size wise much in those years. But like I still have shirts I wore in high school. I still have ball caps. Guys are bad about ball caps. I still have ball caps from high school. But I still actually have a pair of shorts I've been wearing since, I don't know, since I was 20. I bought them when I was in the military, and I've still been wearing them ever since.
And they're still okay, bro.
Yeah.
They lasted.
Which tells you the difference in quality these days, because I bought a pair of jeans that lasted, I think, 5.5 weeks. I was like,
Fast fashion kills me. Kills me.
Right? Are you just like, they've taken denim and added so much other non-denim to it that it's just
like the stretch material and just deteriorates the fabric. Oh
yeah.
Quality over quantity. That's the last thing I'm going to say. Buy as expensive as you, and I don't mean expensive, buy the best quality you can over quantity. Sorry.
No, I love it. Hey, you're here to share advice with us. Like, I'm listening to it right now going, man, I need to upgrade.
We all do.
I have a stack. I did take your advice on one thing already. I have a laundry basket full of t-shirts that I haven't worn. I don't wear. And so my daughters just use them as sleep clothes now.
Aw, that's cute.
but that's what they become, is like, okay, I haven't worn this shirt in years, so it's time to get it out of my drawer and, find a new life for it.
Exactly.
Now, Celeste, you help guys in this way that a lot of us don't think about.
Mhm.
Is that what your podcast is about? Tell us about the Down and Dirty podcast.
Yeah, so the Down and Dirty podcast is about that, but it's so much more. It's a space of non-judgment. It's a space where we can talk about everything: sex, relationships, coaching, how to be our best self in life. So it's a little bit about, and then obviously the personal branding is mixed in there. So each episode is a little bit different, brings some value. Every guest I've had, or even solo, it's been a really fun journey. It's been 2 years. I have a male porn star that's on there who talks about how to please ladies. I mean, it's been to communication coaches. So it's really fascinating. And men and women have said it's a great place for them to learn from. So that's my ultimate goal.
Awesome. Guys, you can find the Down and Dirty podcast. If you're enjoying talking to Celeste today and getting something out of this, you'll be able to find her at the Down and Dirty podcast. We'll have all of her connection links, of course, down in the comment section. I said that wrong. We'll see if I can get this right. Down in the show notes in the description, whatever platform you're joining us on today, we will make sure that you can connect with Celeste, because it sounds like I need to connect with Celeste a little more myself. This is not something that as men we talk about, guys. We don't talk about how we look. We don't talk about the way we represent ourselves, but it matters. If you have ambitions in life and I'm not talking like grandioso, I'm talking like normal ambitions. I want to have a good relationship. I want to have a job where I'm appreciated. I want to have connections. I want to feel good about myself. It gets bigger. There's more to it. And Celeste is opening our eyes to some of that today. Celeste, I really appreciate you having this conversation with us, because, like I said, I'm getting a lot out of the show. If nothing else, I get a lot out of this one today, guys, because I'm learning I have some work in this area of my life to work on. I keep checking my nails nervously now. Like, we're not even in the same room. I'm checking my nails nervously now. Celeste, I know you're really concerned about what the heaviest organ in the human body is. And you said lungs. The answer is actually liver.
Oh,
I know everybody was really getting anxious about that. They thought I wasn't going to remember. Yeah, we covered that. There we go. Not that anybody actually gives a crap. Celeste, if our audience heard nothing else today, what do you want them to take away?
I want everybody to know that I don't want you to feel bad where you're at. And that's really not my goal, is to make you feel, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I just want you to um, take inventory that you will feel better when you start taking care of yourself, when you start showing up, and everybody else will take notice. And it's just a really great feeling when you have the tools and strategies how to show up as your best self. So I just hope everybody, I don't want you to feel bad, because there's no reason for it, right? It's just a lot of people don't have the tools yet, and I'm here to provide tools for you. And that's it, so that you can be your best self. And yeah, you got this.
All right. Now, guys, if you're digging this conversation, be sure to check out this podcast. I'll leave it down in the description for you. Or if you're on YouTube, check out the screen. Follow up for even more on this kind of thing. We're here to serve you, and I'm so grateful, Celeste, that you took the time to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
On behalf of myself and Celeste, be better tomorrow because of what you do today. We'll see you on the next one.
This has been the Fallible Man Podcast, your home for everything man, husband, and father. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a show. Head over to www.thefallibleman.com for more content and get your own Fallible Man gear.